but just trying to see what's going on out here. So much going on, sports world, music world. And I'm gonna do a video later addressing about Drake tying Michael Jackson for number ones. That's hilarious. Drake ain't never been on a Michael Jackson level, never will. Just how people always like to exploit everything that's happening now. Make it sound like, oh, you have to understand the context of a history to put things in perspective. And sometimes things only get like a half-hearted, half-baked, half-cooked situation. So I did a video last night about Dwayne Wade talking about the auctioning of college basketball players to the NBA, and I compared it to what Colin Kaepernick said about the NFL, the auctioning, and I agreed with it. Um, I felt that it ain't been nothing but a plantation, and on sports is no different. They do it in all fields. They do it in the entertainment industry. When young kids and people heard being exploited over decades. Uh, Britney Spears was talking about it when she was performing. She had to perform with some grown men and how they exploited her and what have you. And so people don't understand that it's a meat market. You ain't gonna be a grown person just to go to a nightclub or something. It's a meat market out here, and that's what they look at. And all of it is an auctioning. It's just that when we talk about black entertainers, athletes, or something, it's held to a different standing because it's a different cut. It's kind of like, well, you're gonna have to assimilate a little bit differently. You're gonna have to like kind of fit in. So, but it's a different situation. Um, so that's part of things that's going on. Um, Sports thoughts right now. I'm seeing a lot of people asking. I'm seeing these different polls. I saw someone was asking Steph Curry, Iverson, one-on-one, Carmelo Anthony, Durant, Shaq, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Bird, Kevin Durant, different people coming up in conversation. And those are usual because people right now want to see debates. They want to see something. There is nothing that's really happening there per se that's making you go, oh, oh, oh. I saw Las Vegas won their chip last night, WNBA. Is anybody really paying them WNBA hardcore attention? There's still some good ball out there, but is it really getting the kind of traction? I don't know. Interesting last night with Jordan Poole for the Washington Wizards going off. Steph Curry hitting the game-winning shot makes you think, wonder what if. And Jerry Munn doesn't go up Jordan Poole's head, but if Jordan Poole is consistent, does he get traded to Washington? A lot of things. And of course, I get asked all the time, what I think about Gilbert Arenas and his crazy out there thoughts. I don't pay that turkey much mind. I really don't. He said some horrible things about 80s and 90s basketball. He trying to appeal to LeBron James, appeal to who was out here. And I'm going to tell you something. You can never compare eras because what you end up going to do is find that there were certain things that were better then, there's certain things that are great now. But the bottom line is you can't compare when they have lacked so much to make it accommodating. That's what you're dealing with. And it's the same thing with music, like the music industry is even worse. Because back in the day, we actually bought records. You actually physically bought stuff. You didn't get to stream, which is basically like, say someone throws a gutter ball or two at a bowling alley and they get a spare and they clean up the pins. Well, they get points for it, but you don't understand that the gutter ball you was playing like garbage, how it all works. So it's just a case of the industry trying to make everything look good when it really ain't that good. And so someone's got to pay. So basically artists owe money anyway. So if they hit, they got to pay. And if they don't hit, they got to pay. And in between, you got to pay. So it's a combination of pretty much three heads of the same coin. So it's like on Palestine, all that. I'm not with no war. And I always say, if they got money to send out there, they got money to give for reparations. That's how I feel. So they want to give reparations, we might care. I don't care. I'm not really into it. The other thing is that there's going to be other wars, there's going to be other conflicts, there's going to be other viruses, there's going to be other things that come down the turnpike that is definitely going to get your attention, divert your attention. I did see where that was that one Trump supporter person that got locked up in Atlanta. go ahead and flip on him and going to get out of doing jail time. Expect that to be the norm. Nobody wants to get locked up, and they don't want to go behind no goofball like Trump. So I expect to see a lot more turn and flips there. And I did a video where I said Jim Jordan got about as much chance to be a House Speaker as Michael Jordan did playing baseball. Jim Jordan is trash. He's racist, and he's out his element. Um, that's not going to fly. He's not going to fly. He's what you call mini, and he definitely doesn't have a cross the lane appeal. So good luck with that. Be House Speakerless, but I think what they're going to do is inevitable. It's going to make sure that they get their strike and make sure that they get the protest and shut down. So better save your money and be prepared because you can expect they're going to do some stuff, you know. And a lot of these places are doing things to, they're not talking about the stuff that you need to be talking about. Then you talk about how come migrants are going to get $9,000 for 6 months in Chicago, reports of time, when you have homelessness and you have people in despair and they're paycheck to paycheck and job to job and they're not getting taken care of. America is not taking care of its people, and they're doing some things that are just not cool. And so you're seeing how things unfold. Definitely seeing how things unfold. So it's just one of those problems, though, one of those things. So if anybody appears soon, got some questions, feel free. If I don't see a lot of, any heads coming through, I'll probably be on for I'll give it about 3 to 8 minutes. I thought I'd do like a sneak track up in here just to kind of see if somebody wanted to chop it up, have some Q&A. Because it's kind of like a low-key Thursday. It's one of those kind of days I'm just kind of like in a chill mode, but a lot's going on. Am I getting excited about the NBA season coming up? Not really. The WAC tournament, Adam Silver's old duckhead turkey up there talking about, they're talking about James Harden. If James Harden is holding, and I was watching one of the sports shows, and the dude tried to say, well, they didn't do it for Antonio Brown. Well, Antonio Brown wasn't as big as James Harden. He had a chance to be big and be a Hall of Fame receiver, etc., but he wasn't bigger than James Harden. James Harden league MVP. And James Harden was pretty impactful. Antonio Brown was a guy who had a lot of potential, a lot of upside. But impactful, there's a difference, and that's why you don't treat everybody the same. NFL also, it doesn't really hang on to its players. They don't value them unless they're quarterback, unless they're white quarterback. Let's keep it 100. So they don't do it for everybody. They don't. So that's what's up with that, when I think about that. So there was talk about, I did a video about Gilbert Arenas dissing Akeem Olajuwon because he charged guys for footwork and things. And I thought, well, yeah, because they're learning from one of the greatest players ever and one of the most talented, most athletic guys. Why not get that money? Because a guy can show you how to use your footwork and spacing and timing. Imagine if Giannis comes back learning something from Olajuwon, Dame, they could be a scary squad. People just ain't ready, So there is nothing wrong with that. And Olajuwon was a far more credible player than Gilbert Arenas ever was. Told you before, Gilbert is like known for maybe maybe if it half of a year. Guys like Olajuwon had a decade. Come on now. You can't compare the two. So that's how I kind of look at that. So, yeah. And, I think the hate and disrespect is shameful. These eras don't really teach manners and respect for guys that came before. And there's a lot that gets lost with that. That don't really put emphasis on saying thank you and the impact. So, lots gets lost with that. So, it's just, what they say becomes what it becomes because people tolerate it. They don't want. So that's what's going on with that. Yeah. So I was just watching Michael Parsons, excuse me, crying and crying about Dak Prescott and Mike Carter. I said, look, he's not getting more blame than he deserves. He's wearing that star on his helmet. He's a Dallas Cowboy quarterback. He's got to put up or shut up. And he hasn't done much, not to merit the guy's been around almost 10 years when he wasn't even wanted. So um, I'm cracking up off of that, tripping. I'm like, okay. So that's just the football talk. And I think this one of them shows is doing some kind of award show. I forgot, but I saw it being advertised. So I don't know. I just was checking it out and whatnot. So yeah, just freestyling here today. I think I'll be on for a few minutes. I don't see, and nobody came through with no questions. So it's kind of like, I don't know, people probably working or doing other things and don't, you know. So, but I will be on for a couple more minutes, and I'll cut it short today if I don't get any questions, because it's one of those kind of days where you just, you know, you see it kind of low key. Sometime during the middle of the week, you kind of think, okay, come on. I know one story that I definitely going to talk about in the video, and I could talk about now, is the Michigan Wolverines, who happen to be my favorite college football team, but they're under investigation for stealing signs in the playoffs or some mess that they trying. So they trying to get Harbaugh up out of Michigan. That's what it's about. However, if they stole anything against TCU, let's say it was the mascot, they got bad people. They got still styling because they got the doorknobs beat off of them last year. And what sign stealing when they haven't won anything? The Wolverines haven't been an unbeatable team, so I don't know what the heck the cat's tired about, but we'll see. We'll see what that means. But there's always some sanctions when they want to sanction. When they want to sanction, they will sanction. When they don't want to, they can make that thing kind of disappear. So it's not that deep. Not deep at all. It's just one of those things where you just kind of, have to think about it for a moment, because I'm like, sanction? What did they steal? What was it that they took? I mean, what was it? What's happening, Sonic fan? What's up? What's up? How you doing? Hit me up. Just chilling. Just come around here on Thursday. See if anybody was out and about. So feel free. Got any questions? Want to talk about? Chop it up? Feel free. I'm always glad to see somebody come through. I know people are busy and whatnot. Thank you. I'm gonna say Mahomes, because of his completeness. He's got a better understanding of the field and how he can utilize his body, and he really does the dink and dunks and the checks, and how he can see down the field, and plus he comes back to come from behind. That's the thing that puts Mahomes, for me, in one of the top 5 greatest NFL quarterbacks ever, because he already gets it. Takes guys a while to get it. He can do it. But I will tell you this about Lamar Jackson. Lamar, if we're playing Sandlot style football, I take him. Because Lamar be drawing stuff and making it work. I mean, the way he can dip and go, underrated sometimes with his throws, definitely got wheels on the front. However, he is not, the playmaking skills, sometimes he's his own worst enemy. That game against Pittsburgh, when he threw that bad pick, when he had an ODB, and everybody knows that if you're going to throw a corner pass, you got to throw a corner pass to the right short of ODB. Can't try to throw a lean-in type of pass. Got him out there looking like Russell Wilson, that Super, trying to be cute and throw a flare in the middle. You got to throw him on the right shoulder, up and over. Mahomes would have done that. That's the big difference. So Mahomes, but I tell you like this, Lamar is one of the few guys that you could put in a conversation with Mahomes. But he's starting to if Baltimore keeps on sliding, people are going to start to forget how good Lamar is, because they have not improved the offense. They have not improved as a team. And when they see one guy got all this jewelry and all this success, and the other guy is a shoulda, coulda, woulda, That's it in a nutshell. And how many guys have we seen like that? How many guys have we seen like that? You know, how many guys have we seen that were like that? Now it's kind of like you see cats like Kobe Bryant and Dwayne Wade, and then you got a guy like Vince Carter who should have been in the conversation with those guys, and he wasn't. So that's a good question. But I'm taking Mahomes because I think his intellect game in terms of figuring out things, and you know, it's tough. Yeah, but what do you mean when I mean have you seen the college football players? I saw both those guys in college, and as a matter of fact, I'm a Buffalo Bills fan, and as much as I end up, coming to like Josh Allen, I wanted Lamar Jackson to come to the Bills because I saw what he special he was. I liked the way he played, but Mahomes was a beast in college too. Mahomes. Uh, but I don't think nobody saw Mahomes like this. He was really something in college, but he coming to the pros, and there's Sunday. He was a grown man amongst boys. He's a standard. That's why it's hard to compare anybody with him. I know they tried to mention Burrows last year, and they try to throw this and that, but Mahomes is like a full grown man. It's not fair. It's not fair. But I'm trying to figure what you mean. Have I seen the college football players? I've seen different positional players and teams and players. And guys are bigger and faster and quicker. And also, they're running more prorated sets. So certain things I'm seeing, but it still comes down to tangibles. And sometimes uh, the little things I'm noticing, you know. But that was a good question, though. Hmm. I do like Lamar. I do like Lamar. Um, let's see if we're starting a name. Let's see. Depends on what city you're in. Um, I always think that something with future or star is a good name, or dynamics. Something that would be age appropriate, like the dynamics or something. You know, um, so. But congratulations on that, though. You know, and that's a great chapter in your life. You get a young team, and you coach them up, and and you give them, uh, fundamentals. That's a good thing. That's definitely a good thing. Okay, like the loss. Okay, like the Los Angeles. Uh, LA burst, the LA Los Angeles burst, the Los Angeles forecast, the Los Angeles forecast, or something that kind of hits about the facility that you're in, or the law, you know, the LA degrees. Yeah, the LA degrees would be a cool name because it's a real distinctive temperature in LA. So the LA degrees, you know, you know. But that's a great thing, though. I mean, that's cool that that you got that. Definitely congratulations. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. like I said, congratulations on that. That's cool. There are a lot of good young football players come out now. A lot of great athletes, young, in all professional sports. Because basketball, football, baseball, and I haven't heard too much about hockey come out lately, but they got a lot of talent. Track and field, of course. So LA's new edition. Well, actually, I like that. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Now, if you can come up with a Ricky, Ronnie, Ralph, Bobby, and Mike and Johnny, and you got some names like that, that would be even more cooler. You know, and I am a New Edition fan, by the way. If you had this thing this was like 30, 40 years ago when they did that video for Did You Get It Yet? And they did that video where they had the Lakers, and it was the Lakers against Portland. Magic was in the video, Pat Riley, Clyde Drexler. They had a game between the Lakers and Portland, and Ralph Tresvant was rocking the bike down the street. And yeah, the LA, that would be cool. That would be cool. That would be cool because there will definitely be some people who will look at that and say, "Okay, okay," you know. So anything with New Edition is cool. I remember the USFL back in the LA Express. It's funny now they got Rams and the Chargers, hmm. And then the Raiders and Vegas. So you never know how these things gonna play out, but so yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. It's always good when you see someone giving back to community, and it's just very important. Keeps motivation and uplift. So that's cool. It's cool. So just waiting for any more questions. I'm gonna probably until if I see any more questions, I'll stick on in. But um, pretty low key today though. It's a cloudy day out there, so. Mhm. So give it a few more minutes, see anybody else come through. Got any more questions? You know. Well, yeah, you can find positions for them. I mean, there's always special teams. One thing about football, uh, you can double up on, if you're speed, with the line. There's a lot of positions in football. So, encourage that. Encourage them, though, that everybody may not necessarily playing the main positions, but if you hustle, you can be special teams, you can do punt, kick returns, block, a whole lot of things. That's the versatility. Right now, one thing I will say about like just talking about the NFL, there's more versatility being displayed. Because like if you look at the 49ers, for instance, with McCaffrey and Debo, you can't what do you call those guys? Because in basketball we call them tweeners. Football, they running backs. They are playing out the fullback position. They're blocking. They're playing decoy receivers. They're running routes. So what do you call that? So the more positional versatile you are, the better you are. I say that about all things in life. The more versatility you show, the better for you. So that's cool. Yeah. So where this thing go? Okay. Had a little bit of a zigzag there for a moment. Brought it back. sometimes the machinery be acting all kind of off, but got things back to where they're working. So, like I said before, I look forward to any more questions. If I don't see anything next few minutes, I'm gonna call it a day, but I'm gonna give it a few more. Definitely glad that someone showed up. Well, again, if he's got if he's got ball instinct handles, like he can, receiving. So one of the things I know, so when some cats were like that young, is if they can do special teams, go back to punt returns, kickoff returns, and then that's where your speed is. So if he got some speed, you might want to try to slide him in, try to make way. All depends on how bad he wants it, how aggressive and how versatile he is. Because I tell it to anybody, it ain't just based on your talent. You got to have some versatility. You got to have some. You got to have some good wheels on your wheels. You got to have some strong mental instinct, and you just got to want it. That's what really makes people want to step the game up. So, because there's a lot of talent, but how much do you want it? How versatile are you? How can you sustain? Those are things that need to be asked. So I'll give you that one. Yeah. See, I don't look at age and I don't look at size. It's all about your heart and your mind and your soul. So you can see somebody come along and want to play ball at a certain age and they're old, like if they people grabbing at them or something like that, grabbing at their hair, grabbing at their back. But the more versatile they are, the more they can do. It's just like a job. And on this level, you have to teach the impact and importance of being versatile and preparing for everything because there's always that guy that's just gonna come out there and just take your gig without trying. Well, size is overrated. I mean, again, Allen Iverson played football and he was pretty good in high school. I don't put a lot of emphasis. I mean, that size you can bulk up over time. You just depends on what position you're playing. Depends on your ball handling mechanics. It's a lot depends on you and your heart and your soul. It's got nothing to do with your size. Size is almost overrated. Yeah, you get hurt if you're regular size and stack. Makes no difference because cats gonna hit you anyway. So that's all I say about that. I'm gonna give it about another minute and a half because I've been on here and I appreciate you coming through, but I'm gonna give it about a minute and a half to see if everybody come through, you know. And but I would encourage you can get hurt anyway. So it's a physical sport. Anybody wants to get down on the nose that they're getting the pile on, they're gonna get ran up and get beat up. So that's kind of how I look at it. I would never tell nobody they're too small, too this or that, because you'd be surprised at who can elevate their game. And just like in life, you can get elevated with momentum if someone is in your corner and they feel where you're coming from. That does wonders for the psychic. So that's a biggie. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna give a few more seconds. I'll see if anybody's gonna come through, got anything to say. Um, yeah, 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 you can. Yeah, you can put whoever you want in. If you deem them worthy, feel free. I might come back later, but I'm gonna call it right now. Appreciate the ones that came out and support. And thank you very much. Keep your hands full. Watch out for the sheriff if you like. I'm out. Peace.